You know, everybody wants to make money when they're locked up. And everybody thinks that they're able to do it without suffering consequences and repercussions from other people who are already hustling. For this one here, I'm going to be talking about how a Florida Crip thought he was going to just come to this institution and make his money the way he wanted to without bumping heads with a rival gang. So let's jump into this one, man. I'm going to let y'all know that real spill. And hopefully for anybody watching this that ends up in prison, you decide to go a different route than the route he ended up taking. I'm the best, finna be this way till I EOS. Take it how you want, nigga, yeah, I'm a pro. Fuck around and bust your lot while you're at Vizzo. I hate to be this way, but I live for the moment. Waking up every day, show me an opponent. Shanks on deck, hitting bitch with locks. So much pool, I can even start you from the box. You don't wanna pay rent, got me bent. Got lax on deck, your money was well spent. Vultures on the prowl, so don't try testing. Step 2, cause violent first steps finessing. You a hold down man, suitcase this. My cell phone, I'm a charger, don't walk with a limp. Get it knocked off or missing, you gon' get it. Next time I see your ass, you gon' leave airlifted. What's up, y'all? You already know, man. Kfrog TV back in the building. Y'all go ahead and do me that solid favor, man. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. And also make sure you hit the notification bell so you can see it first. Welcome back, y'all. Today I'm going to be talking about a Florida Crip that tried to make money inside a prison by stepping on the toes of a rival gang. Okay? Like I said in the intro, everybody wants to make money while they're locked up. Some people are going to succeed at it. Some people aren't. And some people are going to be scared to even try. Well, for this one here, you know, this individual, you know, was a gang member. And he thought that it was as easy as 1, 2, 3 to just do what he wanted to do, not knowing it was going to step on a rival gang's toes. All right. Now, for anyone that's been locked up, y'all already know there's 101 ways, if not 1,001 ways, to make money when you're locked up. It ain't always got to be some legal activity either. You know, people draw and make money. People that know how to draw portraits. People that tattoo. People that are storemans. You know, people that like to gamble. You know, people that, you know, want to hustle. There's 101 different ways. You know, there's people that make cards around holiday time. That sell cards. That might not get no money at all, you know, as much as on holidays or birthdays and special occasions. But at the same time, there's numerous hustles, okay? Now, one thing I will let y'all know is me, I never been lucky enough to actually get to go work outside the gate, you know, with the DOT, Department of Transportation. That's normally when they give somebody the job to where you're going outside and you're going to be cutting grass on the side of the highway or, you know, shoveling shit, whatever it is. You feel me? I never been lucky enough to do that, but for this situation here, this Crip, his name was Kano, and he got put on DOT, which is what everybody wants to do, you know, because if they got that hustling mindset, they feel like, oh, if I get put out that gate, I'll be able to, you know, boom, 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 wheel and deal and make it happen, you know, get my own route to where I can finally get, you know, whatever contraband I want in. You see what I'm saying? So the dude decided to go outside the gate and he thought he was going to just be able to get, you know, some contraband in, you know. So the exact contraband item that brought this whole story together, what took place was 1 ounce, which we call a zip, of Molly, which we call M's, okay? Now, when you find yourself on DOT, okay, and I know this just from being in prison, not from actually being someone that got to go outside the gate and work, all right? Now, when you find yourself on DOT, one thing that I will tell you, no matter what institution you go to, it isn't like you're just going to be able to do your 1, 2 on your own with no problems, all right? There's normally 2, if not 3, gangs that have brothers on that DOT squad, you understand, that have everything orchestrated to where they know what's coming in and they know what's not coming in, you understand? And normally they break it down amongst the gangs themselves, you see what I'm saying? So if this mule, and this mule is what they call the people who bring the shit in. If them mules decide to bring something in, them 3 mules, out of the gangs who got their hand in the pot, they're going to separate everything evenly. You get what I'm saying? They're going to make it to where it's either, say there's 4 gangs that got their hand in the pot. They're going to make it to where it's 25%, 25%, 25%, 25%. You see what I'm saying? To where they got their hands in the pot of what's coming inside the gate. You feel me? So no single individual is just going to land at a prison and feel like, oh, I'm going to get put on DOT. I'm going to get my own routes and I'm going to get my own shit sent in, you know, and I ain't going to break bread with nobody. It don't work like that. You see what I'm saying? Because you doing that, even if you get away with it, like as far as getting it in the compound, it puts the other gangs, you know, shit that they got going on at stake if you were to get caught. You feel what I'm saying? Because if you get in trouble and you get caught, it's going to make it harder for the people who've been doing it for a long enough time. You know, it's going to make it harder for them to get it in now because they're going to be more strict and more shaken down and more patting down, more searches or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? And everybody knows that bringing it inside the gate isn't the only way that it gets in prison. Everybody knows the guards play a whole major role as well. It isn't no, you know, fucking mystery. You see what I'm saying? But at the same time, when people get caught, that's when it rains down on all the inmates, you see? So this inmate, Kano, he decided he was going to go outside there and get an ounce of Molly brought in. So he got it brought in. He did whatever he did to get it in there. And, you know, he was safe with it. You know, he didn't get caught, whether he had somebody do it himself or if he, you know, if he decided to boof it himself and bring it in. Okay, because some people stick shit in their ass and bring it inside the gate, you know what I'm saying, when they go on DOT, you feel me? So, however he got it in, he got it in. One day we're on the rec yard just chilling. He's sitting there lifting weights, doing his thing, working out inside the rec cage. Next thing you know, about 7 Bloods walk in there. You feel me? Like I said, he was a Crip. Rival gang, Bloods. 7 Bloods walk in there and they surround him and they confront him about it. You know what I'm saying? And I just happened to be around because where the rec cage was the kiosk machine where you plug your MP up to add songs. You see what I'm saying? And any of my homeboys that are watching this shit that was locked up with me, y'all know my MP was like the rawest one on the compound. You know what I'm saying? Like I had over 1,800 songs. You know what I'm saying? Like my shit was real deal. Like I had 500 different vibes on there. You know what I'm saying? Like, however you were feeling, you feel me? And people that used to beg me and paid me to borrow my MP know what I'm talking about. I always stayed on top of that shit, you know what I'm saying? They used to call it my car. If you were to add up how much money I spent on that shit, it was the same as a car. Literally, that was my car. So, I was on the kiosk machine at the time when all this shit was going down. And they confronted them about bringing some shit inside the gate. You feel me? Because it isn't like you're going to be able to get it in, you know, and get rid of it without, you know, word scattering. You see what I'm saying? You might have made it through the part of bringing it in and not getting caught by the guards or the inmates, because if you stuck it up your own ass, then of course nobody's going to know you did that. But when it comes time to distributing it and, you know, and trying to get rid of it to make your money, the whole reason of doing it in the first place, there's other people that already tend to have that hustle. You see what I'm saying? That already have that hustle of sneaking shit in, or have that hustle of selling things or trading or whatever it is. You see what I'm saying? So when people that owe them people money, you know, start paying you for what you have, you know, the person who's usually in that hustle is going to know, okay, he's been buying his shit off some dude over there in that dorm, or he's been buying shit off dude over here on this side. So now that's how everyone's going to know, oh, he works on DOT. Oh, he must have his own route. He must be, and shit like that. So they came after that boy inside the red cage, and they let him know, like, we know you brought in some dope, you feel me? So next Thursday when we go outside, you know what I'm saying? We want a whole zip of Molly that you are going to get us, or we're going to get you off the compound, you and all your brothers. You feel me? These are literally what they were telling them, like a put down, you feel me? And depending on what institution you're at or what it is even like at that time, depends on the numbers there is of a gang, you understand? When I was locked up at this institution at this time, there was barely any Crips on this compound. I know it could be totally different at different times in different places. It could be the same institution nowadays that could be reversed. There could be more Crips than there is Bloods there right now, for all I know. I'm just talking about when I was locked up, okay? You know, people get transferred and they rotate and they switch compounds around all the time. So for the Bloods to tell them, you're going to bring us a zip Thursday, or we're going to get you and all your brothers off the compound. Obviously, the Bloods had way more numbers than the Crips did. So I'm sitting there waiting to see how dude responds. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting to see if he going to be like, oh, well, y'all going to have to run it, or, you know what I'm saying? Or, all right, I'll get that for you, and shit like that. I was waiting to hear, like, his response. He was like, what you mean? Y'all got me fucked up, you know? And then they were like, you heard what we said? Thursday, you going to get us an ounce of Molly, or you and all your little brothers going to get off the pound. And they weren't just calling them like inmates. They were disrespecting them, calling them hardbacks, you know what I'm saying? Because a word that Crips don't like to be called is crabs. So a crab is a hardback. You see what I'm saying? No disrespect to the Crips out there. I'm just letting the people know what it is, you feel me? So they were like, you and all your hardback brothers, yada, yada, yada. You know what I'm saying? Just like Bloods don't like to be called slobs, you know what I'm saying? But they were like, you and all your little hardbacks, we're going to get all y'all off this pound, yada, 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 disrespecting them and shit like that. So he's like, say no more. And he walks out the wreck cage. So that say no more little line, you know, could go any way. It could go as if he finna handle up, he's gonna put his brothers up on game, and they gonna just have to get wet up off the pound, you know, or they gonna have to rock out and try to put up a little fight, or he gonna bow down and he gonna break bread. You know what I'm saying? Those are like the three things that you would think when you heard him say that. We'll say no more. Next thing you know, you see him the next few days talking to his brothers and shit. They walking around the pound. There's literally like 7 of them out of the whole compound. You know, and you got like 5 to 7 Bloods each dorm at that time. You know, like they had no chance against the Bloods. You know what I'm saying? So I think personally he should have like spoke better and maybe like orchestrated something. You see what I'm saying? Knowing for a fact that, you know, you're outnumbered, there ain't nothing you can really do. I know, I'm not saying bow down, but I'm saying like show them you with the shits, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you respect where they coming from, but they got to respect how they talk to you at the same time, you know? Let them know like it's respect until there's disrespect. That's how he should have like handled it. But instead, he kind of like handled it to where like, you know, it was an open mind for everybody. The people who were hearing it from the outside in, the people he's talking to, and even him himself probably didn't know what he was going to do. So as you see him over there talking to his brothers and shit like that the next few days, I'm just thinking like, boy, when Thursday comes, I wonder how this shit going to go. I know in my mind, if them boys do not flip him Thursday, he paid them. You know, that's just facts, you know. He paid them if the Crips do not get flipped come Thursday. If you know, if a war don't pop off, then 9 times out of 10 he paid. You see what I'm saying? So as the next few days go by, when he's over there walking around the pound talking to his brothers and shit, just to show the Crips that the Bloods weren't playing, the Bloods sent a hit, and 2 people ran up and stabbed a Crip in another dorm. Just to show them like, boom, 1 of your brothers is down. Now y'all got like 6 of y'all on the pound. Just to show y'all we ain't playing. Same thing gonna happen to you Thursday if you ain't got that money. You know, that Molly, which is money regardless. You feel me? So, next thing you know, you're gonna think like, damn, them boys, you know, should have just wrecked out. You know, at that time, I feel like there's no talking. There's no negotiating. You know how they say the United States, we don't negotiate with terrorists? Well, I would have felt like they stabbed one of your brothers, had somebody sent at your brothers, wet your brother up, and they're telling you this is what's going to happen to you Thursday if you don't drop that zip of M's. And this is all because he went behind their back and got it himself. He thought he was going to be able to do his own hustle. You see what I'm saying? With his own route. And ain't got to fuck with nobody. You see? So, I would have been like, man, fuck that. The few we got left, let's all just find one of them and crash them. That's it. Let's all just get our bangers, our knives, and all find one, and we'll just attack their ass. You know, that's just to go out with a bang. You know, regardless, we're either going out with a knife in somebody or a knife in us. You know, that's just what it is. So at that time, after you see that that shit's being real, they're applying pressure like that, you know, you got nothing but time on your hands. You might as well take that time to attack first. That's how I'd look at it. You see what I'm saying? Thursday comes around. Now, When Kano walks in and everything like that, damn near everybody in the dorm who, like, knows people was peeping, was aware to see what goes on, was to see what's going to happen. You feel me? Because even if you're not in a gang, you're friends with somebody that is. That's just how it works inside of prison. So damn near everybody starts telling everybody what's going on and shit like that. You feel me? And people are waiting to see what goes on. So on Thursday, I see when Kano comes in and shit like that, next thing you know, I see a couple bloods that are from the other side of the compound come inside the dorm. Kano and these bloods walk into the bathroom. This was an open bay dorm. They walk in the bathroom, they're in there talking and shit, negotiations and shit. Next thing you know, you see Kano go like this and pull out. Boom. He gave them boys a zip of Molly. You feel me? Now, I know y'all are probably thinking, oh, he did the right thing. You know, after seeing what happened to one of his brothers, you know, and he was outnumbered, he did what he needed to do. Well, this is just like you see in any type of movie. Once you do what they want you to do, they're going to get rid of you anyways. So, as soon as they got the Molly from Kano, when Kano went to walk out the bathroom, someone put a shirt, like they had a shirt, like when you roll the shirt up, around his neck and pulled him into the bathroom. And then boys jumped on him and just started stabbing the shit out of him inside of the bathroom. Right in our dorm. Other people jumped up that was in our dorm that was cool with Kano, that ran in the bathroom to help him. So it was knife drawn on knives drawn. Everybody's drawing knives, you know. Next thing you know, the same people that was cool with Kano weren't gang members or were in different gangs or whatever it was. It made it to where now the Bloods got beef with these individuals and these people. So Kano got stabbed 6 times. It was 6 times he ended up getting stabbed. You know, and he was hollering, trying to get them dudes off him, fighting for his life. And he walked away from the scene, like, you know, being blood and hurt and everything like that. He walked away from the scene and came back into our dorm, like the open bay near the beds, went to his locker. Everybody thought he was grabbing a knife, and everybody thought he was going to, you know, retaliate or something like that. The dudes that stabbed him ended up getting caught in our dorm because the guards never opened the doors, so they couldn't violate back out. But they did hand the Molly off to a blood that was in our dorm. You see what I'm saying? That lived in our dorm. You feel me? That was still able to get the, you know, to collect what they wanted from him. But they stabbed him anyways. And what he went and grabbed out of his locker when everybody thought it was a knife was actually his photo album. He grabbed his photo album and he walked to the officer station and knocked on the officer station covered in blood. With blood all on them and shit. They seen blood. They called all over the radio and shit like that. They opened the laundry door for him to go in there. The other 2 dudes that were standing there with knives were just straight up like caught at knife point. The guards ran down like 20 deep and caught people who were in the dorm with knives. And then people, the Bloods that came from the other dorm with knives. So them, they didn't like rock out with the guards or nothing. So they all cuffed up and got in trouble. The same dudes that were in our dorm that came to back Kano after the whole shit went down, the ones that pulled the knives out that lived in our dorm, they got put under investigation along with the people who stabbed them. They all got put under investigation and put in confinement. Even the people who had nothing to do with it. They were literally the ones protecting that person. And then I'm pretty sure when they spoke to Kano about it when he was in the confinement and they came with the incident reports and was asking him what happened and all that shit, I'm pretty sure he threw the clearance out there for the people that didn't stab him, that were backing him. But due to the whole situation and all, it don't matter. They're still going to keep them back there under investigation. You see, it gets crazier though. So as all these people are going to confinement, right, as they're getting put in the box and, you know, Kano already got brought to medical, shit like that. He was bleeding. All he grabbed was his photo album, you know. And when they're bringing them all, like, to confinement, first thing you do is you got to go to medical, you know. Obviously, Kano does because he got cut up. But regardless, everyone goes to medical first because you do your pre-physical. They weigh you, see how much you weigh. You know, they take tests on you, check your blood, everything like that. Just so in a couple months when they do an update on it, they could see if you're going up or down, you know, or what they got to do. They might have to change your diet or whatever it is while you're in the box. You feel me? But while this is happening, you see guards running across the compound. You could see it through your windows, like in the open bay, or if you're in a cell and you happen to looking out your window. You see guards running across the compound. They run to one dorm. Boom. Then you see a couple more guards run from that dorm, run to another dorm. Boom. And what it was is it was a hit on all the Crips. So them same few Crips that was his homeboys, they all got assassinated at the same time. You feel me? They all got attacked by Bloods all at the same time. So it was basically like, let us get that ounce of Molly off you, or we're going to get you and your hardbacks off the compound. But in all reality, their goal was to get them off the compound anyway. So it was a hit amongst all of them. You feel me? And it just took off. It started with the one in my dorm with Kano. You see? And then you think about it, it's like, well, damn, how do they know when to do it or what to do? How do they know? Regardless if Kano gave that money, that Molly, up or not, they were still going to attack him. You see what I'm saying? And they had it all orchestrated and shit to where once you see the guards running down to that compound, that means that was like the sign, which the dorm would have been my dorm. Once you see the guards running to my dorm, boom. People in the other dorms, all right, boom. That's our signal. And now they attack the other people. You see, that's how it went. And they orchestrated it. And them Bloods got all them Crips off the compound over this same situation. You feel me? All just because he decided to try to bring in a zip of Molly on his own. Thinking because, oh, I'm a gang, they won't fuck with me. Because a lot of times it isn't like they could just come at you and attack you like they can someone who ain't affiliated. You know what I'm saying? There's levels to this shit. You know what I'm saying? There's literally procedures if you're a gang member there. You know what I'm saying? So if you bang and this person bangs, y'all can't just jump up and start fighting and everything like that. There's literally levels because your own kind might leave you in the water against that gang if they feel like you're the one that's wrong. You see? So some people walk around with their chest out just because they're a gang member, because they're affiliated. They feel like certain gangs can't touch them because they're affiliated. They are in a gang. You see what I'm saying? Now, someone who's not in a gang, you could get touched by anybody. You know what I'm saying? Any person that isn't affiliated and any person that is affiliated. You feel me? Someone that's not affiliated is going to feel more safe attacking you than they would if you were affiliated. And then somebody who is affiliated is not going to care at all because you are not affiliated. You see what I'm saying? So Kano thought because he was affiliated that there was a procedure that they would have to take. You feel me? Because a lot of times the reason they take the procedure and the steps before they let it turn into a war is because gangs usually have something going on. If you got a big money-making empire going on right here at this institution, you don't want to risk it all going down the drain and you getting transferred and starting all over and going to an institution where you're a nobody now or the hustles are different. You don't want to take the risk of all that just by an argument with this other gang member. You feel me? It's kind of like you can't beef and get money at the same time. So that's why a lot of times I've seen gangs even push their own kind out there in that water to be dealt with by the other gangs. You feel me? Rather than dealing with it themselves and going against that gang for their brother. You see? Because they don't want to risk what they got going on. You feel me? But them Bloods on this situation, they didn't give a damn Kano was a gang member. I don't know if they did just because he was the rivalry gang, or if it was the fact that they literally didn't have no numbers on the pound at that time. So it was nothing to sweep them off the pound. And the few that got put in confinement, the ones that got put in confinement from my dorm, the ones that got caught up from stabbing all the other ones in different dorms and shit like that, that still didn't matter to the Bloods because they still had numbers on the compound. You see what I'm saying? That the M's that they left to the Blood that was in my dorm, the ones that got caught, the M still was left to the Blood in my dorm. Them M's still made the Bloods eat. They still did what they needed to do on the pound and still took care of their blood brothers that was in the box with money and canteen and shit like that. You see? But they orchestrated that the right way. They played chess instead of checkers. You feel me? They literally convinced him into bringing the shit in. And then he did, because once they seen he wasn't going to rock, once he wasn't going to do nothing, especially after they attacked one of his own, he was going to make payment. Once they seen he was going to make payment, they already knew, like, he ain't living like that, so we're going to get them off the pound so there is no retaliation for what we did to their first brother. just a few days ago. See, that's how it went. And Kano got cut up about that shit. You feel me? That's why you got to be careful when it comes to this shit. You know what I'm saying? You got to be careful anytime that you try to hustle or do anything inside of prison. My opinion, like I told y'all, he should have just told his other few brothers, grab your knife and let's rock. Just like they decided to attack and there was a perfect timing to, you know, like see the signal and know when to attack. They could have did that before Thursday came. You feel me? That's what they could have did. They could have did that shit and set it for Thursday morning. Breakfast time. You feel me? All that's on their mind is them boys are going to work. That dude's going to go out there and get us that Molly. We stabbed her brother up a few days ago and, you know, they ain't retaliated, so we know we finna go get them M's. And then next thing you know, he could have just took it out on, he could have did something to one of the Bloods that's on the work squad with him, while the other ones on the pound could have did it, you know, regardless. They still would have went out with a bang, you feel me? Sometimes you got to do shit like that, you feel me? But by them all attacking the other ones after Kano got attacked shows, regardless if he made payment or not, they were going to stab him. You feel me? And that just shows it's a dirty world like that inside of prison. And you see these type of things happen all the time. You feel me? But I just felt like coming on here, man, sharing that story with y'all to let y'all know about the situation with a Florida Crip and a rival gang all over a zip of Molly. If y'all seen something like this, drop it in the comment section, man. The people that are reading like to know. You feel me? I appreciate y'all tuning in like I always say. Before I go, one more thing I want to say, which is what I always tell y'all. Make sure you keep them rats, squares, clowns, chomos, pedos, gunners, and wannabe island boys and clout chasers out your circle, man. Until next time, this the one and only. I am my team, Frog.
I'm a criminal, I'm a cool nigga, but I got a limit though. I'm a cool nigga, but I got a limit though. Cause I'm a criminal, yeah, I'm a criminal.